I forgot it already. Yeah.
I don't think I
Maybe you do gotta look it up.
Twilight of the Warriors walled in.
All right, we back, and we just saw Twilight of the Warriors walled in.
Wow. I just found out that this was based on a novel called City of Darkness. Cool. I did not know that.
Okay, that makes it more
That's cool.
legit. Yeah.
That was I went in completely blind. I had no idea anything to do with anything.
I also went in blind.
I didn't watch a trailer. It was good action. Start there. I mean, I feel like they kind of like
Just getting out of the main path.
yeah. I feel like they kind of with like once they started I feel like they were over explaining the fact that he was like the son. I remember, and I feel like we lost like 15-20 minutes. I'm just like everyone kept realizing that and whatever.
I can agree, but I thought that they did it kind of tactfully.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, maybe everyone did have a moment, but
It's like
They
it
had
was
to find
each
out.
time was
Yeah.
well done. It's just sort of like it's like okay, now
Find
the
out
guy's
in-
finding out. Now Cyclone's finding out. Now the other guy's finding
it
out.
was
They're-
almost like you had to understand what the person's stake was
Yeah.
in that. In
I
the
feel like,
fact that
honestly,
he was
they
alive.
could've
Like,
just
this was
had
like
it-
stances.
They all get into the dinner and go like, "Aha! I got the news here." It's like, "Here's the name." Oh shit, it's him. And then when like everyone gets to find out all at once or something, that would have been, But besides that, that's,
Right, but
you
they
know.
couldn't all be together, you
Yeah.
know, build the tension.
They
you
were
know.
at the kiddie table
So like
anyways,
all right, so King was like the end game bad guy, right? That's the name of the dude, King, with like fucking mullet and shit. I
He
think.
was really the assistant.
Who are we talking?
right?
Oh, we're talking about
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like he
was
like
the actual bad
yeah,
guy.
he
The
was
spirit powers guy.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was
why
gonna
did
say
he
the
get
spirit.
that? That was awesome.
So is it because even in the beginning I was trying to pay attention. I don't think they ever was his spirit powers just like cocaine because he's a cocaine dealer.
I
and
think
shit?
it was real spirit
And-
powers.
okay.
Like he was
Yeah.
on some. You just saw him hit
He's
the
the
signs.
only
the
one
symbols.
who was doing that. Though.
I
He
know,
was just
I
kinda
was-
like, "Whee!" And
I
I'm
thought
like,
that everybody was going to be doing it by the end of the movie. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, they're introducing this to the main character.
Yeah.
To get some spirit powers.
I
that
mean-
never
No,
happened.
Just that guy. But they
Yeah.
never said why he had that.
Yeah, because when they showed up in the beginning, he just started out doing it, and he's like punching through walls with his two fingers and stuff, and
I didn't ask any questions.
Yeah.
Honestly, he was in my top 3 favorites.
Oh,
though,
no, he
'cause
was
I
having a
loving
blast.
that guy.
Yeah,
His
he was-
laugh.
yeah.
it's the same
Yeah, his
reason why
laugh was
Jason
insane.
Momoa
Yeah.
was like the best part of the new Fast and Furious, because he just doesn't give a fuck. He's like laughing, he's cackling, he's woohooing as he's just kicking everyone's asses and just
Joker
Oh,
being
it was-
ridiculous.
Yeah, it
and
was
whatever.
Joker vibes.
Yeah.
You know, he
was,
did a
like,
good
going
job,
crazy,
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had the powers. He had the
Yeah.
spirit powers.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I will say, some
Spirit
hella crazy fight scenes. That was some fucking crazy shit.
Yeah, I
I
like the
was
action.
very
Slamming
impressed with
people
that.
through the fucking. I knew as soon as Sammo Hung showed up, the big fat guy, because he's been doing martial arts since the 80s. You know, big fuck.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think yeah. I did recognize, bro.
I just,
Okay.
whenever it's just because he's such a recognizable dude and whatever.
Yeah,
But like,
okay.
I didn't recognize anyone else. I thought that.
That was the guy who was with the crazy with the knives, like the cyclone knives.
There he is. Hey.
I don't know what you just said.
Follow the flow. of
Yeah,
traffic.
it's taking too long.
You take.
We only just
You gotta
started
be
doing the
fast,
breakdown.
like the action.
We're just-
I'm now in front of your.
The only base that we covered was spirit powers. So is that like so King was the only one with spirit powers, right? Like
Oh,
Yeah.
Already started.
oh, only just started here, yeah. They all can be fixed in the
So
edit.
you can read your thing. We need that.
Yeah.
We don't know what. Nobody knows
Yeah.
what we're talking about right now.
Warriors of
Where's the Wall City?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wall City.
Warrior. Oh fuck! The fuck is it even called again? Goddamn.
And there was a line at the bathroom. So
Oh, you had a missed call. I didn't even hear that. I'm missing calls like crazy.
Well, we were deep in-
Twilight of the Warriors, Walled City.
had all the people out in this hood.
Yeah, that theater was packed.
Yeah, it was. Surprisingly.
All right.
It's so loud out here.
Follows the troubled youth Chandlock as he accidentally enters the walled city, discovers the order amidst its chaos, and learns the important life lessons along the way.
And he got beat
Yeah.
up in the right barbershop in the beginning, man. Things really worked out for him. With like running around with a big bag of drugs. He
Yeah,
met
dude.
the most fucking
It started with action, it ended with action,
Yeah,
and there was a lot
for sure.
of great plot in the middle.
yeah.
Kung Fu Hustle vibes is kind of like if I had to compare it to something.
I feel like they
But
could
it
have
was-
gone even further with making it crazy because like King was like insane. He was like the Joker,
Yeah,
Jason
he
Momoa,
was
Fast and
crazy.
Furious 5, just like cackling and just having a blast.
He might have been the best character actually.
He's definitely entertaining, just chewing the
He
scenery.
was the best.
Like,
He wanted power. He went for it, you know, and he just fell at the end. But
Yeah.
he went
No,
for it.
I thought he was the worst character, to be honest.
No,
mean,
he
he
was
didn't show
hilarious.
up until like, you know,
He was-
quarters of the way in.
I mean, he was in the
and
first fight
there
scene.
was more of a, you know,
The first, he was in the
He
first.
had a good arc,
a-
yeah, bro.
After,
He had a good arc.
After Locke went on the run, he was the one who was chasing after him. He was like punching his through walls with his fingers and shit. He chased him.
Yeah.
So he was.
But
There, he just wasn't important.
Yeah, he disappeared.
Yeah. It felt like kind of a weird bait and switch out at the end.
It's so loud.
Yeah,
Like
like
happened to have spirit powers.
all the emotional stuff ultimately had nothing to do with the end game whatsoever. Just killing King and whatever.
I
all-
wanted more spirit powers.
Yeah.
That was for
like
sure.
maybe they were gonna unlock
For
or
sure.
explain how he had spirit powers or unlock spirit
I
powers.
thought
or-
it was great without spirit powers, to be honest.
Yeah.
I did too, but they had to give. I mean, they made him the big bad, and it was valid because he had spirit powers.
Yeah, so you knew.
Yeah, he was a problem.
Yeah.
You know, and it was hard to beat this bastard. Like
Yeah.
they were fighting.
They just like were fucking getting whooped constantly. It was like crazy. Just like at some point I was like, oh shit, there's another 45 minutes of this movie. Like everyone just died and whatever. Everyone's like defeated and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they all came back.
What's the overall walk of like the tone that you like? How like just for you like? I mean, I feel like me entertained definitely. I was like entertained from start to finish. I feel like there was some there's some good emotions and stuff. Not a lot of female characters.
I have no
so we'll say
complaints.
that.
I have
Yeah.
no complaints.
Yeah, no. I mean, I was going in for action, but I got a great drama,
Yeah,
very
there's a good
soap
drama.
opera,
Yep.
but
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
liked a lot of how this stuff was weaved in, and
I went
a
in
lot of different
completely blind.
plot lines. So
Yeah, I thought the
I would even
father's
say
story was
the-
cool.
yeah,
It was poetic how like the
The-
father, all they wanted to do was protect the walled city, and
Yeah.
it went down through the guy who ended up protecting it after he killed the guy.
Yeah.
He said, "Protect my kid," and then almost like they just passed it down into him. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder
In the
how
next
that
generation.
movie would be viewed
Yeah.
with like the historiography of like the history of like Hong Kong and China and everything like that. Like just
yeah,
what
man.
the
I mean,
themes.
it's literally just this lawless kind of area within Hong Kong. And,
Yeah.
you know, they're assuming that at some point it's going to be overtaken and it's almost like a metaphor for just
the walled city is real.
reconstructing.
That's real though,
Like,
yeah. Or no?
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But it's like a metaphor for like pushing out the kind of poverty, homeless people, and
Yeah,
building
I mean
over
the
it. you know?
sovereignty of Hong Kong and all that stuff. I know. I mean that's still a thing that's like getting like figured
Yeah.
out and like cracked down on today and whatever. So like I feel like there's definitely
There
shit
was
that
always
like
an air of this is, they're not going to be here forever. We got to just make the most
yeah.
of what we have and control what we have.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so I
they
definitely,
did that
I mean,
poorly. They did not take care of anything, and they let one goon run amok in the whole place.
yeah, that food fucking fucked shit up.
But then they took
King,
it back
King.
though.
Yeah, I
I mean,
got
again,
it back.
again,
but
he was like
he
was
went
little-
crazy. He had to run
little kind of
I was
person in the background waiting to.
to get
take his-
power.
take
Yeah,
his
bro. He had an
It's
arc.
literally, yeah,
He had an arc.
they're all dying, and it's a perfect opportunity for.
well, and now
this
I'm
guy.
kind of more interested
Yeah.
in like what my question is like what's gonna happen now that the movie's over because everyone's fucking dead,
Just
except
the
for
main
like.
four. That's all you needed. Hey,
Well,
they
but then
survived.
someone else might move
Yeah.
in where they gotta consolidate their
Hey,
shit.
well,
they gotta, like,
they
whatever.
can just learn spirit powers and they'll be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Spirit power.
I mean, yeah, that was, it was good. I definitely, I mean, I feel like with the twist that he was the son, as soon as they brought it up, it was like, okay, he's the son.
He's the son, yeah,
And
for
it-
sure.
That was, like, they could have, I mean, it was.
They had so many long, drawn out
Everyone-
shots looking at the like Asian Ray Liotta.
Oh my god, that's so funny. He,
They would do those pan-ins and they'd be looking at him, and I'm like, okay, thank you.
He
for
is
like
the son.
Yeah,
Yes, he
obviously.
is, yeah.
Yes. Right?
There's
Everyone got
like
some
maybe
moments with it.
three of those
Yeah.
too
Very
many, but
Chinese
it was,
filmmaking, you know?
Yeah.
That's how it goes. I mean, anime is the same way.
No, yeah, I mean, they were drawing,
Yeah, like
it's
those
like they're
reactions,
drawing out the emotions of it, you know what I mean? They're focusing on the emotions of it. Just
Oh.
like,
and the old generation, like all dying too, was pretty legit. I thought that was fun as they really like ushered in something
except
new.
for the last one, the one guy that
The one-eye guy?
No, the revenge, two of them, because the guy that in the cage lived too. The one who's
yeah, the
fought the
one-
whole
yeah,
thing
yeah.
was the
One
revenge
brother.
guy.
But you know, they're out the picture though.
Yeah.
And I feel like that
Yeah.
that was a baton pass.
Yeah. Because in the end credits, it showed all the young guys.
Yeah, everybody had beef.
Yeah.
But then at the end, he
Kid.
gets saved by the guy he wanted revenge against. So he's like, oh, okay.
I thought they did that pretty well as far as like that. There was like that middle chunk in there where it was just a whole plot flip. I feel like when you were finding about like everybody's vendettas and that, okay, we got it. Like, I guess from the place when everybody's finding out and they go through everybody's reaction, it's like, okay, everybody has these different vendettas.
Yeah.
And let's just see how it plays out. Who's getting
I didn't
blood?
expect Shin just to become like just the supportive friend. I thought he was gonna be like kind of like a rival, like the dude on the fucking motorcycle the whole time. Because at first he shows up and he's like kind of like the classic, like, you know, kind of like aloof, cool, like martial arts with the knife and shit. And then he just is like, hey, you're my best friend
Let's
now.
sing karaoke.
It's so funny. Talk about a flip. They turned him into a I like. Also, I thought AV was gonna be way more fucked up. I thought with the guy with the mask,
I know, like 2 cuts.
fine.
Yeah.
He was fine. You know, I mean, it's. I thought he was gonna be like fucking Two-Face in Batman with like the lip all fucked up. And,
I
like,
knew it was gonna be him over exaggerating it.
Yeah.
You got a whole face mask on every time you see him.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, I guess
They gave him character.
Yeah, but I mean, I liked it. I like that they didn't end up. I mean, they could have killed someone just for like the kind of like just a twist at the end, but they left all 4 dudes
Yeah, for
alive.
sure. They killed a lot of people though. You know?
Yeah.
I think everybody.
I like the bald guy that with the 2 swords that they didn't even fucking name him or whatever. He was part of their crew.
The
Cyclone
Cyclone
crew.
Slice.
And then
Yeah.
he's the only one that died, and then he got killed.
He's from that show like Chinatown or whatever on HBO Max.
I mean, he
What's it
had
called?
moves. And I was interested
remember
by
the
his.
name.
He had the vibe that I was like, okay, I want to know more about this guy, and it was clear they weren't going to.
He could have had the power.
Yeah, that would have been cool if there's other people with powers and stuff.
I feel like they kind of all had powers the way they were not dying from
they were,
all
like,
these blows
leaping,
and getting, you know, kicked through walls. And I'm like,
Jumping
okay.
12 feet up in the air.
RRR vibe.
It was for sure.
It's like,
Yeah, a heightened reality.
Yeah, heightened reality. Was nice.
Yeah.
You can just do a little bit more. Strings attached.
Right. Yeah, it was good. I would definitely recommend it to anyone. You
For
know,
sure.
anyone who
Action
likes
packed.
like crime movies or action movies, or I guess historical movies too, in a sense, because it didn't really go too much into history or whatever.
It didn't at all. You just kind of knew the characters and the
There's a
setting.
city, and the city's gonna get like torn down or whatever.
Yeah,
That's basically.
it was just a setting.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it had any real. I guess it did have a lot of relevance to the story.
all the refugees.
Yeah.
come
Yeah,
in
yeah,
and
everybody wanted to protect the walled
that's
city.
real.
Yeah.
So I felt like that's what it was going for. Like that's what it was like. Here's some entertaining action, but here's some actual history.
Let's save the city.
It's kind of cool how you can sneak like a history lesson into like a modern action movie and stuff, especially just knowing how I don't want to flag like hindsight with like any type of YouTube censorship, so just Chinese politics or whatever. Just like there's a lot going on with Hong Kong and like sovereign and like just
It's literally
the plot of the movie.
They're gonna
It
come
seems
for
like
me.
it's way far, but it's actually literally like across the street from the real city. So it's a dichotomy of of those areas.
Yeah, some crazy shit.
Yeah.
I liked it. That was good.
I did like it.
Yeah.
Surprise sleeper hit. Hakeem with the wreck rating. I don't go.
Yeah. What you're saying with rating?
Rating.
10.
I was in the first third. I was like 8.5, solid, maybe high. But I feel like it was somewhere. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. Maybe 7.5 now. 8.
No, probably an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid 8.
Had
It
a
was
good
good.
time.
I'll sit at an 8.5.
I already said 10.
And really just to
Well,
explain
that skews it
there's
drastically,
just,
but
for me,
that's
some
okay.
of the pacing issues, just with I think just like what I was saying.
Best
with, like,
action I've seen in years.
Action
We'll
was
give it the 9, and we're giving it the
Yeah.
9. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Average
Like
out.
even it started with great action, like I said, with the bus fight and then
Sammo Hung's got to be like
fight.
fucking 70
He
years
like
old
throws
now.
the
He's
cigarette
still,
up
like,
and
fucking-
fucking
Oh yeah,
breaks
that was
his arm.
clean. That was pretty clean.
Dude, that
I
was
forgot about
fucking
that one.
awesome. I feel
No,
like
the
and then-
fights were epic.
He never lived back up to that fight. I mean, he went into the
This is
Sammo
the-
Hung's like fucking like
I like
bedroom
Cyclone.
thing.
Oh,
So I'm just
yeah.
I'm curious how old. Okay, Sammo Hung's important.
Cyclone went crazy the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cyclone, and then
dying. He was
came back
dying,
as a
but he
ghost.
still went hard.
He came back.
Yeah.
as a
Yeah,
ghost
yeah.
to blow
Yeah,
up.
that's true.
I like
He
how he
held
went
down.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
till the end though. He just
Yeah.
he does the move and then he's just like, I'm dead.
Close
Yeah.
the doors.
So the big fat guy he's only 72 years old. He's like a young fucking.
When he
whatever.
he hit the it was Cyclone used that move on like the fatter boss guy.
Yeah.
That like ended up kind of killing him.
Yeah, the
like
fucking,
King didn't
like-
even have to do anything, and he would have
Yeah.
been up next anyway.
Yeah.
Like he was just lethal.
Yeah.
I like that though. They showed that about his character. Like this is who this guy is.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna do anything to keep moving
I
up.
love in these movies too with the old people. It's like, no, it's. I mean, it's usually. I mean, yeah, they're all vulnerable, but it's like the older you are, the more like dangerous you
It's
are.
the more
Like,
martial arts
fucking-
you've
yeah,
learned.
it's like it's kind of
Had
fun
time
though,
to
just
like
with,
get a 12 degree
Yeah.
black belt.
But then the fact
Yeah.
that they showed the consequences that like fucking he was like hacking up blood like a day later, it's like, oh, okay, cool. That's like kind of takes it to like, for me, like as far as the action, it takes it like the next level. Granted, they had like everyone getting fucked up, like Locke got like
through,
stabbed,
yeah,
like
for
oh,
sure.
and he's
Yeah.
fine. You know, whatever. They're all good.
What happened with what was his name? I think it's Jim.
Yeah.
So Jim had to fight with Cyclone,
Yeah. I saw that.
but so Cyclone killed Jim, and he just said, "Watch my kid." You know what I mean? Watch
so I
my
guess
kid. Like make sure my wife and
Cyclone
kid are
and Jim
okay.
were like fucking tight for some reason.
But they had to fight because he was his boss or something.
Yeah,
that
there's
was
like the war happening and shit and whatever. So they're like, oh, I can't kill you, bro. I can't kill you, bro. And there's like blindfold and they cut up the building and shit. And then I guess Cyclone just killed him and then got his kid out. And the wife like slapped him and it's like,
okay,
oh,
that
killed
was
my
the
husband.
30 years ago history. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Well,
that was the time added up now.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Got it.
Yeah, some of the flashbacks, at first it was like, I mean, it was clear what the plot was, but then the way they were presenting it was like it was like kind of hectic, but you know, it works. Because it's a guy's named Cyclone, it's going to be hectic, you know, so.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was
All
good.
The kites, the little moments with
Yeah.
the kids and everything.
Yeah.
That was
Thematic.
great.
Yeah.
And even
Even you know,
Loke
lot
picked
of
up
smoking.
smoking. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end, he became Cyclone.
Oh, that's true, yeah, he did,
That's
right.
true.
Would have been nice to have some female characters, just saying, you know, they had the
Yeah,
one woman,
killed.
they had the little girl.
you know,
the
they had
girl
the
who got her
motivation.
head. Yeah.
Oh, they got the
girl.
hooker
They
that
had-
got killed,
yeah.
and then
Oh,
the lady
yeah.
was like, stick
That's
with
what
me.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
They had the male motivation.
Hey, that was no place for a lady.
I mean, but then you
That
get
was a
women
blood
kick
fest.
ass and shit, you know, like we live in a post-Michelle Yeoh world, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, she's like, she was, you know, been in movies for like, you know, she's like
Oh,
Chinese.
you know, I'm like, oh,
whatever.
that makes her.
Yeah, you know, it's like 30 years of, you know, international female action star.
Yeah, no,
Chinese.
this is old school, I guess. Yeah, definitely. Not too many female characters.
But, yeah, I
It
can't really
doesn't
hold it against it,
Pass the
though.
Bechdel test.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, actually, no, I think
yeah,
because
I
the
do
little
know
girl
what that is,
talked to
yeah.
the other lady about her mom getting killed and saying, you stick with me. And they weren't
Yeah.
talking about a woman, they were talking to each other. Being two female characters, like, talking.
Holy time.
I guess
yeah.
so.
So technically, despite
And then
itself,
with
it
that
passed.
other
Oh,
worker
the little
lady.
girl, yeah.
Yeah, because even though it was about a hooker getting fucking beaten to death by a John there, it's like still was two women talking.
That was brutal.
leave my side.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
And she did because we never saw her again, so I guess she never must have stayed by her side the whole fucking time.
No, at the end,
Yeah, you
That's
saw
true.
it. Remember
She
she
was-
said, "Loke coming back to town."
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
that
gave
was
the
really
word,
good.
actually.
Yeah, that was back.
It would've been-
Back. Get off the
It's
streets.
like the whole city rose up and it was like, nah, man, we're part of Cyclone. We're part of the Cyclone now. You know what I mean? Like
I
we're-
thought that would
we're
happen,
Lo-
but it didn't
we're
happen.
Loke or
Though.
whatever, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they had been all like tormented and just looked like
Yeah.
they were burning all their belongings. So
Right,
I think
yeah.
it was time to just step
Yeah.
on. You know, let somebody else handle it. All right, we out.
Yeah, it was good though. Good call, Hakeem.